Hey guys, now I don't know about you, but I've always wanted a robot vac. So when Dyson asked if I'd be interested in taking a crack at their 360i robot vac, my chin literally quivered. Anyways, it's about a year old, so when it finally arrived, first thing I did was look at some existing reviews to know what to look out for. But after that, and spending quite some time with the 360i, I realized my experience with it's been quite a bit different than other people's. Not to mention, there's some added benefits I don't think anyone really covered. So first thing I had to do was set it up and connect it to Wi-Fi through the app for iOS or Android. And then I named it Peeper because he's got a little camera on his head that he uses to map the room. By the way, apparently I've given it a gender and an imaginary head. This review's falling apart pretty quick. Anyways, after the setup, which takes like, I don't know, 2 minutes tops, I demanded it start cleaning because you don't have to ask it nicely. I mean, it's a robot, it doesn't have feelings. Yet. Maybe I should start being nice to my future robot overlord. Now, the first cleaning was pretty disappointing. It only ran for about 20 minutes and cleaned maybe 100 square feet on a full charge. But dude, every time I ran it after the first day, I started seeing 40 minutes of runtime and cleaned about 350 square feet on the max power mode, which is about half of my top floor and miles better than the reviews I read and watched. So things were starting to look up pretty fast, but then I discovered quiet mode. So there's two modes, max power mode and quiet mode. Quiet mode basically lowers the suction power of its crazy digital motor that spins apparently up to 78,000 times a minute, but I mean, I didn't really feel like counting, so I'll just kind of take Dyson's word on it. And as a result, you get a quieter vacuum, which is great, but my dogs still lose their minds when they hear it. But most importantly, much longer battery life, as in long enough to clean my entire house longer battery life, which was really cool. So what I did was let Peeper clean my entire house on the max power setting, which by the way, honest to God, surprised me how well it cleans for a robot vac. Anyways, after I did the whole house on max power, I set it to quiet mode and then added a schedule for it to clean once every day. This way, it keeps the dog hair under control, and as a side effect, helps my wife's asthma and allergies because there's no dog hair dander being tossed around in the air from the dogs running around playing. Just to be clear, I don't have two wives named asthma and allergies. I'm talking about my one wife who has asthma and allergies. We good? Okay, cool. And because I have it set on the everyday schedule, I only have to empty the bin like once every other day. So out of just plain curiosity and the simple novelty of having a robot vac drive around the house doing all the vacuuming for me, I watched the thing like a hawk. I mean, it's boring but fascinating at the same time, but I was able to see why it does such a good job cleaning. It's thorough. It's got sensors on the front and the room mapping camera at the top, as well as this brush bar that goes all the way to the edges, which allows it to both cinch right up against walls, but also do this sort of 360-degree spin around things like chair legs. And it's got these dope aggressive tank tracks that work really well at transitioning from hardwood to rugs or carpets, and even getting itself unstuck from under my coffee table, which is pretty awkwardly shaped. So I think you can understand why it gets stuck and why you can't really blame it. But every time without fail, it'll work its way out of there and go on about its business. And all of that tells me it's a powerful vacuum and a powerful machine in terms of mobility. It's kind of like a farm tractor, like it's slow, but has a ton of torque, you know what I mean? Now, in addition to picking up all the dog hair off the floors, it also has two filters, one on the back and another behind the debris bin. So you get this sort of added benefit of it picking up all the debris and dog hair without it blasting all that dander and other stuff back into the air, which again, is an added bonus when it comes to my wife's health. And instead of needing to buy new filters all the time, all you gotta do is pop them out, give them a good rinse, let them dry, and pop them back in, job done. Now, another important but underrated feature is the fact that even though the app saves a map where it cleans every time, it doesn't use those maps whenever it goes out to clean next. Now, the reason behind that is because people are people. So let's say I want to move my couch. It would suck if it remembered where my couch was before I moved it and didn't clean that area. So instead, it remaps each room from scratch every time it heads out to start cleaning. Oh, and when it's done cleaning or the battery needs to recharge, it'll just drive itself back to its charging dock. And if it isn't done cleaning, it'll head back out once it's charged up again. It's pretty cool. And the app has been a huge convenience for me because I'm able to tell it to clean whenever I want, even when I'm away from home. And it'll send me notifications if and when like the battery gets too low or when the bin needs to be emptied, for example. This way, while I'm blasting music while working on a video, I know when it stopped cleaning and why. Now, while I don't believe a robot vac is a complete replacement to my big vacuum because it can't get in all the little crevices or clean the top of my floorboards, for example, with that little hose attachment, it's the perfect companion to it and vastly reduces the time I spend with my big vacuum, which I have a pretty unhealthy hatred for. But most importantly, and this is the real kicker for me, it's helped with my wife's asthma and allergies. So to me, it's worth its weight in gold. Anyways, that's it for this one. Shout out to the fine folks at Dyson Canada for making this video possible. Much love. Thank you from both myself and especially my wife. If you liked the video, show me some love with that like button. And if you're new to my stuff, don't forget to subscribe for new videos every week. But thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Cheers.